Right, so today we have 365 Husqvarna, probably their best saw I think that they ever made. Look, I don't think anything comes close to a 365, but customer states he was cutting and she just died down, sat down, wouldn't start again. So, first inspection, not good. You can get the decompressor out, the decompressor in. Yeah, say it overheated, scored a piston. Let's get it on the table, have a look. Okay, also on this saw, chain brake has broken off it. So let's get a new one of those on. Let's get it running first. First we're going to take the bar off and just leave it a little bit easier to move around the table. So that's the first things first. Okay, that leaves things a lot easier to move around the place. Right, top cover off, air filter off. Pull the plug and have a look and see. Okay. We know from pulling it that the compression is down, but just to be on the safe side, I'm gonna have a look down it with the endoscope. These things are very handy. They're like 20 euros. Draper, it's not bad. Connects directly to your phone, so all you do is turn it on, pick up the Wi-Fi on it. Let's have a look. Yeah, so she's picked up fairly badly on the exhaust there. Yeah, needs to be replaced. Like I said, these things are handy. Not necessary for what we're doing, because we know by pulling it that the compression is down and it's very visible when you shine a flash lamp down the plug hole. You can see where it's all scored. Right, let's get this top cover off. Now that we've that done, sometimes you can just draw the whole lot off, just pull the exhaust first, take off your 4 bolts down here, it should pull out easy enough. But so I'm going to take the exhaust off first, we can go from there. Again, if you haven't got an endoscope, that's a very simple way of telling. It's just pull the exhaust off, you have a look, you can see it's very badly scored on the exhaust side. Right, next we remove the carburetor. Small bit of spillage there from the pressure in the tank. That's done. Go back to our T27. Anti-vibration spring off. Last but not least, moment of truth. There we go. As you can see, it's all on the exhaust side. That one is very, very badly pitted there. As you can see from a closer look how badly scored the piston is. It's generally the exhaust side that gets scored. It's the same if you look at the pot. It's generally around the exhaust port that they go. Next up, we'll take the retaining clips out of the piston. It gives a bit more room, and we might take this brake handle off, or what's left of it. Most of the time these clips will just pop out straight away. As you can see, it's hard to get an angle on it at times. So a lot of the time the gudgeon pin or wrist pin, whatever you want to call it, will just shove out. When a saw is overheated like this one has, it takes a little bit of gentle persuasion, as you can see. Just a closer look at how bad that piston actually was. Springs are sea solid on it. Last but not least, pull out the bearing. Just set it aside. It's going in the scrap pile, so we'll just put it back there, out of the way. Okay. Now that the saw is away, next up is assemble a new piston. It's a little cap I have full of 2-stroke oil. I generally put the wrist pin into it to soak for a few minutes. So I'm just installing one of the retaining clips on one side. It just leaves it easier than trying to put 2 in when it's in place. So we'll get this one in first, then we can slide the wrist pin in. Okay, now that retaining clip is finished fighting me, there's 2 dowels at the piston ring that stops the piston ring. So I get a bit of oil. I'll always put it in the grooves of the piston first. Always take a careful look at the rings. There's one side of the ring is grooved. There's a flat spot on it where it sits up against the dowel there. So just be careful not to put them on upside down, otherwise you could have major engine failure. Again, I always find it very important to have everything well oiled up before it goes back together. I know it'll be a little bit smoky when it starts, so I'm just putting some 2-stroke oil on the bearings. Again, just adding a bit of 2-stroke oil to where the wrist pin goes in. Another thing to be very careful of is all these pistons have an arrow facing forward. That's the side that goes next to the exhaust, so always install your piston that way. Along with the wrist pin soaking in the oil, I always leave the bearing in the oil as well for a couple of minutes. Once all lined up, this should just slide straight in and hit the retaining clip that you have in one side already. Now time to install that last retaining clip. At this point, it can be much easier to put on the intake manifold boot. It's less finicky to do it this way, and I always find it an awful lot easier to do it now before I install everything else. Again, I add more oil, this time to the cylinder wall. I just find that it allows the piston to slide an awful lot easier into place. Right, you may have noticed I'm not using a base gasket. Some people would disagree with me on this, but by deleting the base gasket, this raises the compression in the saw. I find, and any of the saws I've done it on, which is quite a lot, it's a lot better. Performance-wise, it's a lot better. Right, onto the hardest part of rebuilding your saw. Sometimes you can put a cable tie around the rings. It just means the rings stay in place, but these are generally fairly easy to get on. think I just jinxed myself here. Generally though, this slides straight in. Obviously not this time when the camera's watching. Oh, there we go. Okay, now just slide it down, make sure it pops into place. Right, tighten down the cylinder head and just make sure we try and pull all 4 bolts evenly if possible. Generally don't tighten them down with a gun, I just run them down first and then I'll give them a good hand tighten to make sure they're properly tight. Okay, now that the cylinder head is tightened up, I'll get the shock absorber spring. Next up, the decompressor button. I'm just putting the vacuum pipe back through the inlet manifold grommet. There's a little hole there for it. I find these surgical scissors a godsend. I'd be lost without them. Next up, just going to reinstall the carburetor. Now that that's all tightened up, time to put the choke back on. So here, I'm just going to put back on the exhaust manifold. So just get the heat shield, the exhaust gasket. Now that that's all tightened up, here's the new brake handle. Just be careful when you're ordering the handle for these, because there's two different type handles. There's one for an old model and a new model. And this one in particular is the X-Torque, so it's the newer model handle. Okay, we're on the home stretch. Time to get the air filter back on it. Oh, and don't forget to tighten the plug. Okay, so top cover back on, 2 clips, that's pretty much it. Okay, time to get ready for startup. Because I emptied this earlier on, I want to change the fuel filter. I always use a much stronger mix when I rebuild a new saw. So this one I've mixed to 35:1. I'll start that up and I'll run 2 tanks through it. Probably give maybe half an hour between each tank. Okay, last but not least, let's throw it back up on the vise here. I always use the vise, I just find it much handier for putting the bar and chain on. So that chain, no, doesn't look good, so I'll get a new chain onto it. And these are Oregon chains that I have already pre-cut and joined again. So I'll get the bar back on. Put the chain back on it. And we're almost there. Side cover back on. Just try and clip the adjuster back into the hole. There now. That's that. Fully built, ready to go. Let's take it for a test spin. Right, back outside. Because I've used so much two-stroke in doing this, change the fuel and fuel filter, it's going to be that bit hard to start. As you can see, it's taking 10 or 11 pulls for the fire. Once it fires up, it will be a bit smoky. So just put it in this fire, then we want to put that first tank through. Then when that one's ran through, we'll let it cool down a bit, we'll fill her up, and let it run one more tank. And that's the saw ready to go. Thanks for watching.